We have had so much fun with these Know Your Dough conversations with the Tennessee Valley Federal Credit Union, and once you begin talking about money, the conversations become almost limitless, right? Because it can be from your grocery bill to the career you're going to choose to where you do your banking and anything in between. So let's turn it over this morning to Kim Hunter. She is here, Kim Gunter, I'm sorry, who is the VP of Marketing at TVFCU. My glasses are throwing me this morning, Kim. And Dr. Bento Lobo, who is back on the show. He is the chair of the Department of Finance and Economics at UTC.
That's
Good
correct.
to see you.
Thank you.
So I'm going to start with the credit union specifically because Dr. Lobo is very quick to applaud you, Kim, because our conversation today is focusing on women in financial kind of leadership positions, and the credit union kicks it out of the ballpark and the percentages you have when it comes to that.
Oh yeah, thank you so much, because it's really exciting to be in the credit union movement. The credit union movement does women in leadership particularly well, and as an example, at TVFCU, 40% of our senior executive team is women, and that's a lot higher than percentage you see in other industry. Specifically in financial services, it's 17%.
That's right, and 6%, only 6% of CEOs in the financial industry are women.
I want to talk to you a minute because you're in a unique position on campus at UTC, because you see these kids come in as 18-year-olds. There's a lot of change that happens 18 to 22.
That's right.
All they know about the world, though, I think, is what their parents have been able to expose them to. So these girls come in and maybe they are kind of inclined to have a financial mind, but they've never seen a leadership opportunity for them. Do you kind of mentor them in that?
Yeah, so what we have noticed is in our upper level finance and economics classes, about 25 to 30%, only 25 to 30% are women or girls, right? And this is in line with the national averages. Gender imbalance is huge. And so yes, we do mentor them. We have a program that is geared toward high school girls called Empower Your Future, where what we try to do is put impressive role models in front of them, women who have studied finance and economics in their past and are living very successful lives now. So girls can relate to them. That's a big problem, is that they don't see people in those roles who are like them.
Right.
So it's important to put those role models in front of them, right? And that's kind of what we try to do with this Empower event. And reaching out to them at high school is much more important than once they're in college. It's a lot harder to change people's career paths or thought processes once they're in college. So we try to reach them in high school so that they at least dwell on what is economics, what is finance, what can I do with these careers, and then look at these fantastic role models that we put in front of them, right? And ask a lot of questions. So we had a fantastic turnout at this February's event.
One of the things I love so about the conversation we had off camera is that in no way are we suggesting that women have a better view of money and finance than men do. It's just like in all things, women see it one way, men tend to go another. You said even when it comes to research.
That's right. And research has shown that men and women sort of self-select into different areas of finance and economics, and so especially in economics. And so women tend to be more in tune with social justice issues, with issues of inequality, environmental concerns, and so on. And so when we don't have enough of those views up at the policy-making level, you don't get the necessary balance that is needed, you know, because economics permeates everything, right? It permeates business, health, finance, whatever. And so having more female representation, more voices in those conversations is very critical.
I'll never forget, I was a stay-at-home mom for 10 years, and I was in a meeting once, kind of a high-powered meeting, and there was a comment made by a man about something about women who were, quote, just stay-at-home moms. And I remember saying, and he didn't intend it, but I said, you know, my friends and I all were, and that those are the women who are managing completely the household. They've chosen to take a financial step back for the sake of their kids, but they're very much the CEOs of their homes, even if that's all that happens. Right?
Yeah, and 95% of women, some research shows, will be the financial head of the household at some point in their lives.
And this is true not just here, but globally. So women run household finances in most parts of the world, right? Troublingly, when you do studies that test them on financial literacy types of issues, they don't do as well. And so it's really, really even more important. And it's not a skills gap, it's not a capability gap. It's often about not seeing role models like them in their industry, and which is why they don't self-select into economics or finance as a major.
So what do you mean by that when you say when they're tested on certain things, they don't have the same knowledge?
Yeah, so there are financial literacy tests that are out there, and they're conducted by a variety of different organizations, not only domestically but globally. And broadly, again, these are broad trends, but the men's scores are not that great to begin with, okay? But women score a few percentage points lower, and then when you break it out into demographic subcategories, you have some further trends that we can talk about. But so that's the space we want to work in. We want to help bridge this financial literacy gap.
Okay, so I'm going to have to wrap it up here, but let me ask you this. Where kids are deciding where they're going to go to college, UTC has known for its business school. I mean, it's fantastic. But if you've got a daughter who is inclined to this way of thinking, she's going to find mentoring at UTC?
She will find fantastic mentoring at UTC across disciplines.
Okay.
But I can speak to finance and economics, and we have a very strong mentoring program, and we will encourage it with scholarships and with other types of advice.
And maybe you have a daughter who isn't necessarily math inclined or business inclined, but she's people inclined. At the credit union, y'all promote from within. You can begin on the ground level and work your way up. Right?
Oh yes, that's exactly right. And we actually have specific mentorship and leadership programs within TVFCU that are designed to encourage all types of people to find their success at the credit union by promoting from within.
Well, I thank you so much. It was, and I appreciate that conversation was that it takes both mindsets.
Absolutely.
To create the success that we're all after.
I agree.
Okay, so tvfcu.com, there's a website where you can go. You can look for job openings there. You can set up an account there. And then, of course, if you have a student looking at UTC, perhaps you're just a freshman in high school right now, but Dr. Bento Lobo chairs that department, and he takes it very seriously.
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go Mocs.
Go Mocs.